So what do you think is causing all of these games to fail? Is it YouTubers talking trash about them, or is it the reality of the game developers themselves and the injected ideologies that are being shoved
The
in?
economics has a lot to do with it. When you spend $500 million on a game, it requires a pretty astronomical level of success to be considered financially successful. Some games that are being considered failed are still profitable. They're just not hitting projections because of the level of investment in gaming now. So companies like Square Enix have said games let them down, but that doesn't mean that the game was not profitable. It just means it was not as profitable as they had maybe hoped. But then you go back and look at these projections, and like literally everybody needs to go back inside for 2 more years and consume games, or none of these games are going to make it. So some of these games have just spent too much. They're just failing to deliver on basic needs. Halo Infinite didn't fail because it didn't include or did include anything with character creator. It failed because it didn't offer core game modes that it didn't offer core playability on day one. And they
Well,
spent a
I'm glad
crazy amount of money on it.
with the Halo Infinite, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people like to trash it, but it's because it wasn't ready on day one. The game itself was fantastic. I had a great time playing the single player experience. I didn't really get into the multiplayer. I heard people say the multiplayer is fantastic as well, but it just took way too long after it released for it to even come together, and they lost
Right.
everyone because of that.
Yep.
And it always makes me kind of wonder the rush to get these games out to appease investors and the higher ups and the CEOs of these companies to make sure they get them out. We can just patch them. We can just patch them. But that was a Cyberpunk thing. Like they lost me, even though Cyberpunk came around, ended up being what people seem to unanimously say.
Yeah,
It's a
No Man's Sky.
game. I bought it on day one, and I
Incredible.
was very disappointed by the overall clunky experience I had with it. So because of that, they lost me. So I feel like the game, to your point, there's a very interesting dynamic of how much money is being spent to create these games behind the scenes before they come out, and then just expecting customers to just buy them and they'll be fixed. It's just very strange how this always seems to be the case with these games. And you combine that with a lot of the other stuff. Again, it's a multifaceted, multi-headed beast that we're battling right now. It's not just the pronouns. I would say that is along the lines of other things that are being injected with ideologies in games. That's just one head on this multi-headed beast. There's a lot of different things that people are fighting off: money, finance, time, like so many issues going on with it. So it comes down to a game that comes out needs to completely blow away anything in your backlog.